Action.
Okay. Welcome to our first show for YouTube. My name is David, and this is Ezra. First thing we're going to talk about is Wrestlemania 29. What a great show that was. What did you think?
I thought that the main event was the best match.
Well, I thought that it was a really good show as well. But we should start from the beginning. The first match of the night was Big Show, Orton, and Sheamus versus The Shield.
Don't you think we should talk about the pre-show?
Well, the pre-show doesn't really count.
That was a good match.
The pre-show?
Yeah, that was a good match. Yeah.
You're right. I thought that The Shield did a great job. I think that they deserved the win. And Big Show punching the other two guys at the end. Well,
I would really go to The Shield.
I thought that was really cool.
No.
What did you think?
I don't agree with you. I don't think The Shield should be winning all the matches. But we have learned that if it's in a single match, The Shield can't help themselves to get in the match. But the Big Show, he made a mistake.
You think the Big Show made a mistake, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I think that they should have tagged him in. I think that Sheamus and Orton made the mistake.
No.
Alright.
No.
Well, we'll just have to disagree on that one. Okay, the second match was Ryback versus Mark Henry.
Now, that was a good match.
I was going for Mark Henry.
Oh.
Yeah.
Our director has something to say. Did you want to come up here, director? Okay. This is our director. Her name is Ava. She was going for Mark Henry?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The whole time, huh?
Yeah.
Alright, good. So, I'm really glad with that match. That was a great match. And I think that Mark Henry got the win, and it was a good win.
But that was a great win. But I like Ryback, but I gotta admit, he walked into that win.
Yeah. Our third match of the night was Dolph Ziggler, Big E Langston. The debut of Big E Langston. First time we see him in the ring.
Yeah, that was great.
I'll be honest, I wasn't that impressed with Big E Langston. I didn't like him. Ziggler wrestles as great as usual.
Actually, you are wrong, because on NXT, it was, I forget who fought Big E Langston, but Big E Langston won the NXT title.
Well, I'm sorry, the first time that we see WWE Big E Langston, not that good. Not impressed. Team Hell No with the win. Still the tag team champs. Fourth match. I was really looking forward to this one.
Fandango versus Chris Jericho?
Wait a minute. I'm not going to do the show with you unless you can say it right.
Go.
Alright, now we can start the show. I thought that Jericho really did a great job on the match. Really did a great job with Fandango. I think that it was a good match for Jericho and a good match for Fandango. Actually, a great match for Fandango to have at WrestleMania against Chris Jericho.
Chris Jericho is the first undisputed champion. He was a... It was a great match. Fandango went up against Chris Jericho at WrestleMania, his debut, and that was his debut, and he got the win.
Yep. Did you see the part where Puff Daddy came out singing? Yeah, I didn't care. I was like, it was whatever. Except for the Skylar Grey. She's hot.
She is.
Alberto Del Rio versus Jack Swagger. I thought they did a great job there. Del Rio and Swagger were really good. Del Rio picks up the win. Not a bad match at all. And just what you would expect from those two.
That was a great counter by Alberto.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, the one that I was looking forward to all night long. All night long was CM Punk versus The Undertaker.
Now, Taker pulled up with the tombstone. Punk kicked out of it once, but he couldn't kick out of it the second time. That is the biggest...
Wait, you're getting way ahead of the whole thing. It was 20-0 going in. Punk's looking to destroy the streak. He had the urn. I mean, he really, went to town on this guy about, getting into his head.
Yeah. but he couldn't do it, and it's the best streak in sports history. 21-0.
What about when Punk did the old school? Were you pretty excited about that?
No, I thought that was rude by Punk. A lot of disrespect.
A lot of disrespect, huh?
Yes.
Okay. Triple H versus Brock Lesnar. By this time, I was feeling pretty good. How were you feeling?
I was so excited that it could win Lesnar. Lesnar deserved it. HBK by his side. And you gotta admit that Heyman walked into the
What did you think about HBK getting that F5 though? That was pretty exciting.
Well, actually, it was also kind of funny because he was like, "Oh, I'm just texting. I'm fine."
that was pretty.
That was.
All right. John Cena versus The Rock.
Main event?
The champ
Main
is
event.
here. He could finally say it.
But weren't you going for The Rock?
No, that was our director.
The director was going for The Rock, huh? Man. I was going for Team Cena the whole time. I knew he had to win.
He had to.
He needed to win.
That was like 2 rows in a row. That was 2 WrestleManias in a row for that main event. Only this time is for the WWE Championship.
Alright, I agree that Cena needed to win. Had to win. Had to win. Cena had to win.
Yes.
Well, how many Sweet Chin musics out of 5 would you give WrestleMania 29?
WrestleMania 29. I think I would go for about, I don't know, like 2.
2 Sweet Chin musics out of 5? That's where you rate it?
Yeah.
I'm going to go a little higher. I think it did better than that. The Jericho versus Fandango match.
Oh, wait. What about The Miz versus... Wait, that was a great match on the pre-show.
Okay, what is it with you and The Miz?
He's awesome. Can you really blame me?
Okay.
But then the next...
Okay, so...
they lost.
So you think it was below average? You think that the show was 2 Sweet Chin musics out of 5 Sweet Chin musics? If you had to grade it, I'm gonna say 3 Sweet Chin musics out of 5.
That's just 1 more Sweet Chin music.
Yep, but I think it was worked out good. So the next night on Raw, the Raw after WrestleMania, what'd you think? John Cena comes out with the belt. He has his new shirt on. The champ is here. Yep. I think it was great. Mark Henry came out. John Cena kind of made fun of him a little bit.
That was really funny.
He says,
how many chocolates does he eat in one day?
I don't know how many chocolates Mark Henry
I think he eats like...
That would be hard.
100.
Yeah.
That's what me.
So then, Big E Langston, once again, singles debut on Raw against Daniel Bryan.
Langston got the win. It was a great win. But I still don't like him.
I'm not a fan of Big E Langston. Maybe it's the singlet. It just doesn't seem to fit him.
I don't, yeah.
Maybe he's wearing your singlet.
Hey. At least my singlet fits me.
Alright, and then a rematch of the pre-show that you can't seem to get over. Miz versus Wade Barrett.
Barrett pulled up with the bullhammer elbow. I wouldn't be able to kick out of that either.
Barrett wins back the title. What do you think about the switchback so fast?
That was a good match. It was so emotional. That was so emotional. At WrestleMania 29, and he Wade just had to get it back. It's just a title.
So you think it's a good idea? Win it one night, lose it the next?
Well, no.
Oh, okay. Jack Swagger and Zeb Coulter versus Alberto Del Rio. Handicap match. 2-on-1 match.
You know what? That was just like a 1-on-1 match.
Oh, so you think that...
Zeb Coulter never came in.
Alright.
And and he broke Del Rio's ankle. Then
hold on. Oh, you're getting ahead of yourself again. We're not done talking about the match. Good match. Alberto Del Rio wins. Cross arm breaker. Lots of back and forth. Zeb Coulter doesn't really get involved. Not too much. Swagger taps out, but he really puts the boots to Del Rio's leg there.
Yeah.
And then Ziggler cashes in, runs down, cashes in the Money in the Bank.
New World Heavyweight Champion.
Wow. You just love spoil. I'm going to have to call you Spoiler Alert Ezra. Spoiler Alert. Anytime he talks, be careful. New champ, Dolph Ziggler. What do you think?
That was a really short match. Probably the shortest match to cash in the Money in the Bank.
Yep. 3MB versus Santino, Ryder and Truth. I didn't really care. It wasn't a big deal.
No, I think I really kind of had to go to bed, so I didn't see that. But I'm pretty sure that Zack Ryder, R-Truth, and who else?
R-Truth, and that was Santino.
Santino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Santino. Santino hits the Cobra, wins the match. So you had to go to bed. So you didn't see any of this other stuff. Hey, non-spoiler. Doesn't know yet. Gonna have to read the notes here. Next match was Orton versus Sheamus to see who would face the Big Show. The crowd was really hot for it. They were really into that. They were chanting JBL. They were chanting Michael Cole. Lots of different things. They were doing the wave. Lots of stuff going on there. It was a pretty good show. Beat up. Nobody really wins because Big Show comes down and kind of no contest it. Beats the crumb out of Orton. So it wasn't too bad. That was kind of nice to see Orton get the crap kicked out of him.
Hey, well, I like Orton.
Okay, well, the next match after that was Fandango versus Kofi Kingston. They loved that guy, Fandango. They were even singing his song. They were doing Chris Jericho comes down, interferes in the match, and he gets a really nice pop. They really wanted to see Fandango get beat up, so that was kind of nice. Next is Paul Lee talking about Brock Lesnar, and all night long the crowd was really hot. They really, really were into this Raw. It was nice to see. So Cena versus Mark Henry. Mark Henry gets a title shot if he can beat John Cena. Mark's really angry. Mark's really mad.
So Ryback comes out.
Ryback comes out, gets him feed him more. Clotheslines John Cena, shell sock on Cena. Looks like Ryback's gonna want the title.
I think so, but I think he was just trying to. I think he was also just trying to do that to make Mark Henry lose.
So that Henry wouldn't get the shot.
Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting. Okay. Well, that's our WrestleMania and RAW report. Anything else that you can think of that we need to tell the fans of our show about?
I can't wait till SmackDown.
Really?
It's going to be good. The first SmackDown after WrestleMania. The SmackDown before WrestleMania, 2 matches. Not good.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine. That's probably not very good. I don't really watch SmackDown very much. I kind of treat SmackDown like I do TNA. Yeah.
I like TNA and SmackDown.
Oh. Well. It's okay there. Anything else? Movies, music coming out that you really want the fans to know about? Has anybody heard of this Macklemore guy? I guess he's blowing up like there's nobody's business.
Like, he's bigger than The Miz.
We all know that you love The Miz.
Yeah, but Macklemore, he's getting way big.
Okay.
I think that, like, maybe Extreme Rules or something, there'll be a Macklemore theme song for it.
You think so, huh? Maybe like a Extreme Thrift Shop?
Extreme Thrift Shop. Yeah, they could just make a video of that.
Okay. Well, that sounds good. That's our show for this week.